And with that little improvisation, I say welcome in the living room on this fine Friday. It is September the 26th. We are slowly heading towards the end of the month, and today we are here for a little bit of a shorter time, for 2 or 3 hours with some music. We'll see where we go today. We'll see how we feel. I'll be honest, I'm not in the all best of moods today. So that always has an influence on what kind of music I want to play or what I feel like. So we'll see where we're going today with this. Yanni, so lovely to see you. How are you doing? And Clary, hey, thank you so much for the follow. You have only heard me talk so far probably, but I'm glad that won you over. How are you doing? Let's see, maybe we go here for a bit. Woo. There we go. Yanni says, fine, just closed the laptop for job 1. Nice. You've been so much more productive than most of us so far already. At least than me. Now lunch preparing. Nice. What's for lunch? Oh, no idea yet. You said that. Is it like the same grey weather as here? Because in that case, maybe some soup. And Clary says, good. What about you? Okay today. I'll be honest. Clary. Kind of woke up on the wrong foot. Hence also me streaming an hour later than usual, and maybe also a bit slower than usual. Slower than usual? Yes, slower as well. I'm also slower today. Also a bit shorter than usual. But there's these days and there's other days, right? And at least I'm glad to spend a little bit of time with you guys. I always say I would love this place to be kind of a safe corner of the internet, right? For anyone to be themselves and to share and to be okay with how and who they are. And that also includes me sometimes, you know? I'm also taking a lot away from these streams, so thanks for that. Aww, I'd go in for that group hug right now, Yanni. Thanks. Hey Marlis, have a good day at work. so that was a bit of a shorter version of sorry about that, of Nuvole Bianche by Ludovico Einaudi. I realize I kind of want to go for a softer piano sound today. This one's a bit overstimulating for some reason. Let's see, do we go full chill mode? Why not? Hey Doodles. Clary asks, where did you learn to play the piano? Clary, I did take lessons. I started when I was 8 years old, and I had classical piano lessons for about 9 years. Then I took about 2 or 3 years off, and then I started again on my own. But like picking off from where I basically left off after graduating high school, and then also finishing my lessons since I moved and everything. Yeah. Officer Baron, thank you so much for the seat reservation. Welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. carry. This one is called To Sanakant. It's from Final Fantasy X. Thanks for the work, like Mr. Bale. was a little bit of chill video game music. We had some songs from Legend of Zelda. We had some songs from Pokemon. We just have to, or I have to be careful not to drift off to playing just chill things like that today. Well, but maybe we will. Who'll know? Let's loop a bit. And that was a loop that escalated once again. Was, I think, a little bit Bonobo inspired because I've been listening to one of his albums yesterday, especially that harmonica in between. I really like it. It got kind of this longing sound. But let me catch up with chat real quick here. We had a few people joining. Miss Dia, thank you so much for being here. I hope Yanni is enjoying her lunch. Reaper says hello. I'll be lurking for an hour or so because I just finished work and I'm on my way home. Well, as Doodle says, safe trip home and enjoy the rest of your day after work. Schnulf, by the way, thank you so much, you kind soul, for the 34 months. Yeah, you know what I what I would add if I had the time, but thank you so much, man. Silver, happy Friday to you. Thanks Doodles for vibing along. Simi's here, hey there. And thank you Badehaus for joining as well, guys. Badehaus, as you know, wonderful, wonderful streamer. Please do check him out if you're looking for, well, primarily a German streamer. But since music is universal, you know, feel free to check him out if you not speak German either. Yeah, I noticed, Simi. You got your time. We all got our times where we have, you know, time and where we don't. So no worries there. Always glad to read you in chat. just promise me to go easy on the hydrates today. All right? That would be appreciated. You want me to stream when I'm in lessons? Well, how dare you educate yourself? There's more important things to life than that, Simi. You gotta understand. Joking, of course. Please take your education seriously. These times show us how important it actually is to be educated. Sylva's been here for the last 10 minutes or so, fair enough. Yeah, I've been not really checking out chat much while I was playing. Yeah, normally we do like loops today, right? But as I said earlier, I'm not in the most delightful of moods today. Not like I'm not like super bad or nothing happened, like no worries there, folks, in case you do worry. But yeah, just, you know, one of those days. I do have them a bit more frequently recently, so I'm trying to, you know, take the right steps to counteract them. So yeah, thanks for understanding. And as I said earlier as well, I don't know how long I'll be streaming today. We'll be doing maybe one more hour. I might be ending an hour early as well. I might be doing until 6. I'll just see how I feel and you know, how we proceed from here, how it works out. Hey, thanks for the lurk, Simi. Enjoy your day too. All right, and well, one of the few things. Oh no, that sounds terrible. That sounds like there's nothing nice in my life. I wanted to say, make a nice transition, but one thing that definitely always lights up my mood lately is a show I'm binging at the moment, Steven Universe, and you know what? Let's play a bit of music from that show. The songs from that show also have like amazing chords. I really like them. Really like it. Badaus says, have some ketchup. And Schnulf answers to that. I was so confused by that. Answers, did Amadeus contact you regarding a question I was asking? If not, I would like to ask it now. Oh, god damn it. Oh, god, Schnulf. Oh, I forgot. And I even was having a talk to Badaus a bit earlier. God fucking damn it. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Good thing you thought about it. I'm a mess. Oh. But yeah, please feel free, which you did already, ask that question in chat. I actually only know the song, but not the show. Nice, X. But they have amazing songs. Like, the longer the show goes, I feel the more it becomes kind of a musical, which I actually enjoy. So yeah, you said I will catch up with chat. Oh, I see. I see, Baderhaus, I see. I know. Isn't that a joke in Pulp Fiction that Mia tells Vincent Vega, where she goes, there's 3 tomatoes crossing the road and the small one is lagging behind, and then Papa Ketchup says, ketchup. Oh, I'm a bit slow today, Baderhaus. Silver says, Amma, don't know if it's just me, but you sound either ein bisschen dumpf or your volume is down because I've turned you way up to understand. Interesting. I don't know why that is though. Because I should be the same volume as always. I'm talking a bit quiet today, that's true. But we gotta work with that, Silver. We gotta work with that. Also because I don't have the energy today to concentrate on tech issues, especially with a microphone. I feel like I'm getting so much feedback from people in chat about my mic quality, and oftentimes about the volume, and I never get it right anyways, you know. Like sometimes people tell me my volume is too quiet. I check the VOD, everything is fine in my opinion. Then other times people seem to be fine. I check the VOD and the microphone is like terrible. So like I don't get any more like what happens on your end. So yeah. To be honest, volume needs to be different for speakers and headphones. Oh, and also I never know on which system people are listening in, right? Some might listen in on their speakers from their phone. And yeah, obviously, even if the volume is fine, if I talk a bit quieter and a bit muffled as today, when I'm not like, you know, then it's, I don't know. It might seem like it's quieter because you don't understand me talking, which fair enough. But yeah. Or something like Untold Wanderer says the sound is very bass heavy. I can't really do anything with that. All I have to do is listen back to the stream myself and make my own deductions, because again, I don't know on which systems you are listening. And feedback from chat has been consistently inconsistent about things like that. Okay, Access, I watch your VODs on speaker, everything is great, but on headphones, it seems sometimes it's difficult sometimes to hear you with the piano. All right, fair enough. Yeah, that also might be just, you know, again, because I'm speaking a bit muffled today. That is true. And I can also turn a little bit down the bass, so maybe this is a bit better. All right, let's work with that. But at least I still, even though you know, guys, I say I can't really do a lot with the feedback from chat, which is true. I still appreciate you trying to help, guys. But yeah, sound is a fickle thing. Oh no, chat, also having a bad day, yeah. I also kind of started on the wrong foot today, hence the latest streaming and everything, but there are days like that, and they are okay too. So I hope it is getting better for you, chat. I hope it is getting better, and I hope tomorrow is also better than today. I also might be misjudging though, a little bit, yeah. How loud I am, because I hear myself over my headphones and obviously talking, right? So that might be an issue. I have to check that next time. I'm on call duty till next Friday, says Jet, so it'll only get worse. Oh no. Oh no. You'll get through it. I believe in you. If I could begin to be half of what you think of me, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love. When I see the way you act, wondering when I'm coming back, I would do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. I always thought I might be bad. Now I am sure that it's true. 'Cause I think you're so good and I'm nothing like you. Look at you go, I just adore you. I wish that I knew what makes you think I'm special. If I could begin to do something that is right by you, I could do about anything. I will even learn how to love. When I see the way you look, shaken by how long it took, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you and love like you. Love me like you. Don't know exactly what it is about the song, but it is so nice. Hey Jet, are you like super mad if you tried collecting the points? And I'll just try to play it now. I'm so sorry. Well, that way, keep the points. Do something else with them. Alright. Hey, Stony. Hey, thanks for checking in. Guys, if you are looking for cooking streams and World of Warcraft at the moment, I think mostly, Stony is your man. Stony's got you covered. How are you, man? Alright, let's try this. Maybe I need to listen to the song first. It's so weird to play things like that by sheet. Let me quickly actually have a listen. Sounds like classic rock. Or yeah, well, but I think that's as far as we get anyways with the live plan. Anything more than that would probably take a bit longer with a song like that. It's like these kind of like classic metal songs, or I don't know what's the genre. Like I think Badehouse also has requested like one or two like those. They are like similar to anime music. They just change so often between certain tracks. It's not just like two parts that you have to remember and to figure out. It's like you have to figure out like 8 parts, and when you figured out the first 4 and you go to the next 4, you just forget the first 4 again. So yeah, it gets easier the longer I listen to songs like that. And that actually reminded me of another song that is similar, but that I really want to try playing again. Give me a second. Oh, Mr. Lan, thanks so much for the 25. Welcome in chat. And Jet, you're welcome. Let's see if there's sheet music for this one. So this one is similar. It has like just like so many parts, but I really like the song, so let's try playing it. I don't know if I said which song, so maybe you guys can guess. And if you guess right, I'll know I actually played it at least somewhat correctly. well. Ay, ay, ay. So yeah, this is also one of those songs that just go on forever, and they have like multiple parts. I remember first time I tried to play this song was a disaster. And it works only kind of okay-ish now because I have the original song in the back of my head, so I listen to it a lot. But yeah. And holy shit, I leave you alone for 10 seconds, and holy shit, there's so much going on in chat. What the hell? Ay ay ay. Should I? Let me see. Where did this go? Shannon was needs to be overcomplicated. Faye must find take a vouch because they had stopped their career. Peer pressure. Okay, so I think we went through family and stay-at-home dads. Somewhere else. So in between there was the question, what is this song? So this was A Little Piece of Heaven by Avenged Sevenfold. At least the attempt. Debatte Sasla, hey, welcome in chat. Thank you so much for saying that. I'm glad you enjoyed the 24-hour stream. I have still very mixed feelings about that one. So I'm glad you had a good time. All right, then we talked about Japan, I guess. All right, if you're okay with it, I'll briefly go over your discussion, but I think I can safely say that was a discussion between 2 or 3 of you guys. I do agree, though, that we shouldn't like put whole countries and cultures and nations under, you know, and into this thing of like we categorize it by that one person who's in power right now. Very, very true. Jimmy Kimmel caved in and is back on television. Yeah, he was back. Didn't he have like Gavin Newsom on air the first time he went live or something like that? I mean, in the end, it's kind of cool that he's back, that the pressure did something. The only sad thing about it is it's not really like peer pressure or social pressure that put them in this place, but like financial pressure, you know. I saw a very good post that summed it up very well in a few words that said like, I canceled my Disney Plus subscription because Disney was caving into fascism. I'm not coming back because they're now caving into capitalism. And that kind of hit the nerve, you know. I think that sums it up pretty well. But it's becoming more and more difficult with this kind of stuff, you know. Like, it's easy to cancel Disney Plus subscription, right? But I'm also still on edge about like whether to keep Instagram or not, even though it's like this one outlet where I also use to socialize and to network, right, with other musicians and see what they're up to and stuff like that. And at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm just screaming like, just delete this shit, you know. But well. Scylla says maybe we better stop with the politics. It's a short music stream after all, and I guess we all want a good start to the weekend. Right, that's true. That's true. We shouldn't like talk about it all too much. Yesterday, probably for the money. Yeah, exactly. Debatte Zasla. I think it's the same. And it's not that he came back, right? He was cancelled by Disney, and Disney brought him back, right? He could have refused, but difficult. I guess he chose to use that platform rather, right? But yeah, I also think that they are very much looking at what he's saying now. There is unfortunately no chance I will cancel Disney Plus having a 4-year-old. Fair enough. I guess with with kids, are your kids like, okay, with a 4-year-old, I'm really bad because I would think a 4-year-old, like me as a 4-year-old, I probably couldn't, I don't know, like I'm so far away from having kids and interacting with a lot of kids, but like, is your 4-year-old, and that might be a stupid question, like using Disney Plus by himself, or is it like mostly when you're around or when you're doing it, right? Because like I just went back to, you know, good old seafaring, if you catch my drift. Still an option, and the only one they understand, right? Take their money away. I'm very opinionated. Me too, Tabata Zasala. I guess Silver is more like, we know that if you talk about this on stream, I might catch on to it, and then we'll talk about it for an hour. Very true so. Very true so. I have also very strong opinions when it comes to these things. But at the same time, you know, I also know it won't change real quick. So even though I might have strong opinions about it myself, I never would like blame anyone for not canceling their Disney Plus subscription just because that's a decision I made. You know what I mean? Like, as much as we might talk about politics in here sometimes, or about our opinions, it never means that just because I find a certain way of like dealing with things or seeing things, or if I, you know, have a certain attitude to things, that doesn't mean like we can't accept each other's opinions, right? And actions. I think it's way too easy to fall into that pit, and I've seen people do that, of starting to blame everyone and everything for the way things are. And even though they might be correct objectively about it, it like doesn't do anything other than you becoming very frustrated and very pessimistic and very misanthrope kind of. So yeah. All right. Hey, welcome back, Stelly Man. Jet says, we're monitoring, or rather watch together with him, kind of as a ritual before bed. We're watching an episode of Big Hero 6. Winnie the Pooh. Nice. All right. Yeah, so in that case, I mean, you know, I don't even know if I should say that. But like, you know, seafaring, taking your toddler out for a ride with a boat. If you know what I mean by that, it might sound so weird. That's still an option. Still an option. Da, da, da. Current law would advise a 4-year-old to not let them watch more than 15 minutes TV per day and only under parental supervision. Yeah, I can't imagine what it does to a toddler's brain if you're like fixated on a screen for like 6 hours a day already. I mean, it fucked up my brain in the last 10 years. Can't imagine what it would do to, you know, child's brain. But then again, even with that, I find it difficult these days to judge people who would do that, because you never know their situation, you know, and their way of dealing with life and everything. So, yeah, we can definitely talk about the consequences it might have, but I think it's always easy to blame people for not doing things in a different way, right? And that's not easy sometimes, but I think at least the way I think I want to approach things, right? Oh yeah, Jed. I actually been to Kobe before. First time I went to Japan in 2017, 16? And I visited a friend who's living in Osaka, and then checked out the Kansai region in general. And I still remember I also was flying to Osaka, not to Tokyo, I went out of the plane and it was typhoon season. I went in September. It was... I was just dead for 3 days before my body adjusted. Yeah, the second and third day I was there was a typhoon. And yes, it was like 98% of it. I don't know how much, but like I never felt air that heavy and that wet. It was so weird. Yeah, you can basically swim through the air, yeah. It's kind of crazy. Especially when you come from Germany, where, I mean, these days weather is also getting weird, but in general, weather in Germany is a bit more stable, right? Not as extreme. Still, we're getting there. But Reaper says, my coworker has 3 kids, and in the past year I've known her. I learned a lot about my own opinions and views about other parents and their parenting style. I used to be very judgmental, but I really learned to be more relaxed about parents and their kids. Ah, interesting. Yeah, I think for me it comes from that general idea of like judging others. And by that, I mean, it don't even mean like walking around and going like, oh, I hate all these people because they do something like that. They're bad people because of it, you know. But judging just does mean you're observing something someone does, for me at least. Like observing someone who does something and then judging if you think that's good or bad, basically. Like that's already where it starts. And it's such a tiny difference, and it's really difficult to get there, but it's something I really actively work on lately. To be more like accepting people do things and just accept it. Just don't even go to a certain point where you go like that person shouldn't do this or shouldn't do that. Just don't have an opinion, basically. Just have, or well, yes, have an opinion, but don't judge. It's difficult. Semantics, folks. But I think maybe you get what I'm saying. You can go like, all right, that's not the right decision for me. I would have done it differently. And if they make a decision that's bad for you, then you can still be like, hey, it wasn't nice of them, and it wasn't good for me, and I can see how I, deal with it. But you can't really make them change what they do, and you can't really, like, sometimes you also have like a certain opinion about things, and it just applies to you and not to others, all that stuff. Good stuff, but also, yeah. It's, I think, such a thing to do, though. At least how I grew up, like to do that in the back of your head, right? To a certain degree. And it's really tough sometimes when you realize you're doing it and you don't wanna, and you're like, shit. But we live and we learn, right? Jazz says, if you just insert yourself into their life uncalled for, if it's not actually endangering the child, that's annoying. But if you see and say, hey, I'm not going to do that with my kids, that's totally fine. Exactly. Because you're just observing someone else, and then you're taking the consequences you want to take out of it, and you change your actions because of it, right? Or you don't change your actions. But that's the thing. It's kind of centered around you, basically, and not around you, influencing them. So yeah, I agree, Jeff. Let's sing another one from Adventure Time. I know I'm not that tall. I know I'm not that smart. But let me drive your van into your heart. Let me drive your van into your heart. I know I'm not that rich. I'm trying to get my start. So let me drive my van into your heart. Let me drive my van into your heart. And if we look out of place, well baby that's okay. I'll drive us into outer space, where we can hear what people say. I know I don't have a plan, I'm working on that part. At least I've got a van. So let me drive my van into your heart. So let me drive my van into your heart. Let me drive my van into your heart. Let me drive my van into your heart. Oh, let me drive my van into your heart. Ah, what a great song. A bit weird without context, but I still like it. I love these songs because they're so lighthearted in a certain way, but they still have like some meaning, and that's something I guess I generally enjoy about cartoon shows. I guess that's why I'm so focused or binging Steven Universe so much lately. It's kind of like a wholesome show, but at the same time, you know, there's like some good stuff in there, but without being like, oh, look at us, we're so deep. Note to self, look out for Amma driving a van while crossing the road. I've never... I think I can safely say you're safe, because I never even tried driving a bigger car. For some reason I have respect for that, you know? I always feel like, might be too much. Baba, Erebus is definitely, and always ask yourself, why is this bothering me so much? Maybe it's even something I can change about myself. Yeah, exactly. I think the important part is, even though it might sound egocentrical, whatever, is that you need to realize that in the end all you can do is change your reaction, right? Or see what it's doing for you. And sometimes you can also, for example, for friends, you can try to nudge them in the right direction or give your opinion, etc. Or ask them if they want your opinion. But yeah, in that case, mostly not to make them do things you would do, but make them do things you think would be good for them, right? And that's also a small but important difference. Anyways, reminds me of Pickle and Peanut. Just not sure whether he'd be Pickle or Peanut. Pickle and Peanut? You gotta explain that one to me. I'm afraid. I have a friend working in childcare here in Germany, and trust me, parents in general can be a lot. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know people working in healthcare, right? And it's the same there. It's never the patients that kind of suck. It's always the people, the family, you know, around them. I guess people, when they get protective and they are overwhelmed, they can get like a bit like, you know, showing their elbows, if you know what I mean. How long is the short stream today? I actually don't know yet, Silver. I mean, I started later, so if we stop at 6, it still will be a shorter stream. I just wanted to, you know, approach, maybe I did it for myself as well, kind of to approach this stream as in, let's see where it goes, because again, I wasn't feeling so well in the beginning. And I also don't want to force myself to, you know, to stream longer than I would. It's not really doing anything for me. It's not doing anything for you guys. So, yeah. Google it. Best cartoon I've seen in a while. I mean, I'm in my cartoon phase either way. Jesus Christ, it's a German one? Is it a German? No, it's not the German one. It's from the US. Why is it called? This is one of the worst things yet. So normally I always find it funny, right? I think I talked about this before on stream, that in Germany, oftentimes we change the original title of a movie, but we don't translate it to German. Sometimes we even choose English titles, but different English titles, because the words are more commonly known to German people, for example, or there's a little bit of a different, like basically it's marketing, right? But still weird to sometimes find a movie that has an English title and then you find out the original English title is a different one. This one is even weirder. It's the original title is Pickle and Peanut, and the German version is called Gurke and Peanut. Not Gurke and Erdnuss. It's just Gurke and Peanut. Why did they translate the pickle, but not the peanut? Probably because it just sounds better, I guess, as well, but super weird. Only watch the English version better. I just imagine it's kind of weird. They half translated it and left the other half. Let me drive my van into your heart. Because pickle sounds like picker, maybe? Oh yeah, good one, Reaper. Good catch. That might be true, yeah. Peanut is like, you know the oh, and German people know the peanuts, right? So it's not like a word that's just weird. You might even not know it's translated to Erdnuss, but at least you've heard peanut before. Fair enough. Good catch. I like that theory. Oh, Silver, you just said that literally before as well. I'm bound to you. Let's not attribute it to me. Then to Silver, you were completely right. Yeah, the peanuts. Exactly, but I had the same thought, yeah. Goes into the direction of the fabulous misadventures of Flapjack. That's another one I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of cartoons, I have to tell you, right? Even as a kid, we didn't have a lot of TV time, which I'm very happy about. So I mostly started watching movies, like supervised with my parents as well and stuff like that, but like not a lot of like kids shows and stuff like that. Maybe like a few episodes. I still remember around Christmas there was always Weihnachtsmann and KKG, which is also quite funny because in every other language it's just Santa and his happy elves, and in German it's like, no, it's a corporation. So yeah, like, but always just a few episodes here and there. So I think I just entered my cartoon stage now. Reaper asks, I wanted to start Steven Universe today. Can you tell where I can watch it? Reaper, I don't know if you have Discord or... but you just drop me a message somewhere where you're also either on Discord or on Twitch here, and I can send you a link. Flapjack is on the Internet Archive? Alright, I'll note it down as well. But yeah, Reaper, it's not on any... I think Netflix has like the last two seasons only or something like that. It's super weird, and I wouldn't recommend starting to watch it at the end because it really has like a continuous story at some point. Kind of with every cartoon, I feel like these days, it's like the first season is like set up, it ends on a cliffhanger, the second season is about solving that cliffhanger, and then it sets up a bigger thing, and then with Open 3 everything opens up. That sounds so dodgy. What can I say, Reaper? We're still live on air, you know what I mean? Oh. The very official sounding Weihnachtsmann KKG-Theater reminds me of my favorite mark that I got from my old boss from the US that says, "Fun facts about Germany. There is no fun in Germany. Get back to work." We just have a different kind of humor, alright? Most German people I know are very funny. Some people, especially from the US, I think, there's just this huge cultural gap, you know? Because German people tend to be very dry with their humor and very more like down to earth. And I feel like Americans are more like about the show about like being very expressionate. Which also, just so you know, not judging here, just saying like that's a big difference, I think. And so far it showed, like, also for me, like personally, I usually get along more easily with people from example from the UK, Scotland, Germany, than from the US. Like, I had multiple occasions where I had like issues with people from the US because, in my opinion, it wasn't even like personal differences, but more like cultural differences that weren't able to be gapped, you know? We are extremely sarcastic. Oh, are we? But yeah, like, I think Rob, for example, Rob Does Music also has such a German humor. I love it. He can be, he's like even more extreme. Like, sometimes his humor is so dry that, like, even me, I'm like, it's probably a joke, but like, how do you react to that? Amma hates people from the US. That's exactly not what I wanted to say. Right, a very good example of that, right? Culturally, how I feel like there's always a certain cultural gap between Germans and people from the US, in my experience so far, right? Is the whole thing with what meaning we put on the word friend. I had like 2 or 3 times where I had actual misunderstandings with people. Not even arguments. It was not even that I said like, oh, they are too friendly, and they said, oh, you're too cold, and then we had a fight, you know? It was more like subtle, you know? That there were like small, certain misunderstandings that I think were based on cultural differences. But yeah, it could be misunderstood as something personal as well. And yeah, very, very prominent example was that thing of friend. Like, in English, if I'm talking English, I would even, like, I would come in here and chat, right? Welcome all of you. Like, some of us, we know each other for like, well, we know each other. We know that we exist, right? We have a certain kind of relationship, whatever that might be. But like, some people we know now for like 5 or 4 years, some people since 2 years, some people for a few months even, which is also a long time, right? And in English, I would probably say like something like, hey friends. Well, now that I think of it, in German I could also do that, but like, there is a certain difference between a friendly hey friends and who I would actually call a good friend. You know what I mean? Because in Germany we have like so much more differences, I guess. We have this thing of Bekannte in between. Like, there's like a colleague, there's someone you know, there's a Bekannte, there's a friend, there's a close friend, there's a not so close friend. And I feel like that oftentimes has led to confusion. I don't know, have you guys ever noticed like some of these kind of like subtle differences between cultures in your daily life or in your life in general? I'm thinking like, Jet, since you're living in Japan, right? and you seem to work like internationally as well. Maybe you have like some experiences you want to share, you can share. Because I'm sure it does not only, you know, limit itself to these certain things. Well, anyways, this became a just chatting stream, but that is fine by me. And I hope it is fine by you as well. But maybe we can do one more song, one or two more. What would be something that kind of fits the vibe here? Oh, Jesus. That took a wrong turn quickly. Jet says, whoo, all the time. Started hating most people since I started working here. There we got the German humor again. I hate everyone. Do you have like one example maybe? Why is that one on? Well. back again. I should not send MIDI while changing the instrument. That's what's fucking it up sometimes. At least we found that out. This was an improvisation on the Mandalorian theme by Ludwig Göransson. Kind of used a lot of like different sounds from the East-West library Lo-Fi. I wasn't so happy always with that library, but for this one it worked quite well. Best epic music to build a cat tree along to. Nice. Is your cat finally getting one of those? Very, very nice, Silver. Stallion Man, you're very welcome. Thanks for the claps, Reaper as well. And yes, as Tabata Sasala says, it was from the Mandalorian, although, Jad, you were exactly right. The instrument I used in between the flute was indeed a shakuhachi, which is a Japanese flute. The crunchy drum sample. Yeah, that's from this lo-fi pack. They've got like a few very nice sounds that for me are still difficult to use because I feel like they always sound interesting and good when you put them together, but on their own they kind of feel weird. But yeah, the drum kits for this one are very weird. There's also a few that are super deep. This one is really weird, but I really want to use that one sometime. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know. There could be like some weird. I see this working in a I don't know. Maybe like some I don't know indie game. Wait, let me get a bit like we need a little bit of random guitar in there now. Something that sounds kind of not like industrial. With a lot of reverb and then put it to the side and maybe and Dwindot, hey! So nice to see you again. Thanks for joining in again. Hope you're doing well. Reaper asked, do you also release some loop tracks on your Spotify? Because I really enjoy them so far. Thank you so much. You're not the first one to ask, Reaper. The problem is that my loops are oftentimes just randomly put together on stream, right? I never really record them because I feel like for a full song there needs to be more than that. And then I talk a lot in between, so I would need to go back, maybe cut out some highlights from loops that I did when I didn't talk. Then oftentimes I do try out instruments in between, so it's really difficult, and it would be a lot of work for me to make it a presentable version, basically. But yeah, at some point it's on my to-do list, on my long to-do list. At some point, cut out some of those and put them together, you know. But this one I really like, so who knows? Maybe maybe I'll work out something at some point. It's just a different workflow, you know. Like when I'm composing, especially with like more instruments and in a certain beat, right? Not like a piano improvisation. I just have a very different workflow from when I'm just using the loop station to record. So what I would have to do is like basically do it live and then record it at the same time. And that never really works out the way I want to, right? Especially if you feel like, oh, now I need to, you know. But yeah, maybe we can release them as kind of like a live album, basically. I mean, it is live, so mistakes are bound to happen, right? Still, I appreciate you saying that you enjoy those loops. And yes, Tibatasasula, I was thinking, where do I know this sound from? It's like the noises from Half-Life. Yes! Yes! What would be an even more Half-Life like instrument? I don't know. Some synthes thing, right? Like we have all this, and now we would need like... not gritty enough. Well, after all, I was actually inspired to do some loops today. Who would have thought? I didn't. Record a combined dance song, wait for after release. Profit. We should just write some lyrics to this and then, you know, go about it. Ay, ay, ay. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da. Alrighty. Sadly enough, though, the time is still the time it is. And that means we'll head out soon, folks. It was lovely. Was lovely streaming for you today. I don't know who it was. I don't want to attribute it to someone wrong, but I think Jad or Reaper saying like they didn't feel so well in the morning, and just having a chat now here helped. And you know what? Me too. Again, I wasn't in the best of moods this morning. I'm in generally not in the best of moods sometimes lately. Let's be real. And yeah, that's why sometimes there might be, you know, things like today where I'm streaming a bit later, or maybe a bit shorter. But I think I need this right now to basically get this pressure out of my head somehow that I still have not shaken completely of the stream being like, or yeah, me having like a lot of expectations on myself and on the stream in general. Yeah, well, we should, I just need to still kind of process that streaming has a different value right now to the whole business thing, right? Since I'm doing this full time, I do make most of my money with the music stuff, with commissions at the moment, right? With sitting down and working on stuff. And the stream itself doesn't, or my time that I spend with these things don't really reflect that at the moment. At the moment, basically, I would say income-wise, it's like at least 70% commissions and 30% the stream, basically. And I do spend like 70% of my time when I work on my music with working on the stream, and 30% on the other things, you know. And I think because of that, you know, I tried this very like structured way again of like, hey, let's have certain time slots, and I think these I really want to keep, but like we're always doing this in the first hour, we're always doing this in the second hour, etc. And I feel like we need more streams like today again, you know, because not only are they way better for me personally, they also, I feel like, no matter the numbers in the end, no matter how many people have been active in chat, etc. These kind of streams are the ones that do the most for the people who are actively involved, basically, right? They are the ones where we talk most in chat. I feel like we're having an actual conversation, you know. It's not always like, oh, we have to end this talk now because now we need to do this and that, or the other way around. And instead just go with the flow and just go with what we feel like, you know. So yeah. And not pressure myself also into playing so many songs. Jesus Christ, do you know, guys, how many songs we sometimes play per stream? Too many. It's like sometimes I try to cram like 10 in an hour or so, and then we have like 30 songs played in just one single stream. Yeah. Anyways, I'm basically going off the rails a bit again. But if you have any thoughts to this, to streams like today compared to, especially the long-term viewers, compared to, I don't know, some weeks back, basically, also, when I really strictly do like only piano on Mondays, only this on Wednesdays, etc., you know, instead of just going with the flow and what we feel like. Let me know what you think, what fit better, what you enjoyed more. Because again, since the stream itself, like, financially is not really the focus right now, we might as well just have fun with it, right? Instead of always trying to, you know, in the back of my mind at least, to grow and to improve and to, you know, to have like this linear thing, instead of just seeing it what it is and enjoying it. At least that's my 2 cents. Schnulf, one thing I wanted to ask you as well is, since I might as well try to work a bit on certain stuff that we are working on. Maybe we can have a chat on Discord at some point. I think I asked you before, but I don't remember your answer on how much I can show on stream, how much I can work maybe live on stream as well. So, yeah, might as well do that, you know. But yeah. I think we'll maybe try to just see the stream as, let's do, like, Rob talked a lot with me about this on and off stream, and he also said like the moment where streaming became like a bit more easier for him again was when he wasn't like trying to cram everything in there musical wise, and just, you know, he's got like some Sims streams now. I mean, we won't be starting to play like Sims on stream, but like, you know what I mean? Just like go with what feels interesting now, and see the stream less as I have to play a lot of music for you now, and instead like, let's just, you know, see it as a living room again. Just hang out together, play a bit of music, do some other stuff, and yeah. Would love that, says Yanni. This way you can do what you feel like. Yeah, and Yanni, I think, you know, something you continuously, repeatedly said to me over the years now, since you've been there from the beginning, you've been there when we did a lot of community-related stuff as well, you know? And all of that kind of fell short. I mean, of course, with me doing this full-time, we can't do like a Discord gaming night every week anymore, but, you know, occasionally just the general vibe on stream as well. Yeah, I don't know. Would really go there. Bada House, by the way, you said earlier also bad mood high five. Shh. I'm really sorry to hear that though. Yeah, I mean the weather and the time of year does do itself, but like Bada House, if you ever want to have a chat, talk a bit, let me know. Let me know. You know where to find me. It's two people in similar situations to a certain degree, you know. Jet says that was Reaper, but I had a grab day as well. Oh no. Oh no. Well, at least we're not alone in it, right? You can use the Half-Life sound files, no need for lyrics. Ooh, nice. Nice. Maybe sample them or something. Thanks to everyone. Same there, Dwindle. Same there, you know. But I feel like it's important to have these moments. At least I try to tell myself it's important to have these moments as well, and as well on stream, and as well with you guys. It's not always easy to do that. I still try, of course, to always be in a certain entertaining mood, right? But with especially the whole social media thing and influencers and streamers in general, always showing themselves from their best part, and always, not all of them, right? I don't know. Basically this idea that everyone is always having a great time except you. Maybe we need to break that from time to time as well, Just write me a message. All right, will do. Debatus Oslo says, very kind words. Thank you so much. I think exposure is the biggest thing you need to work on. So like collabs with other streamers. Yeah, and the whole social media thing. My girlfriend continuously tells me that as well. She's always like, just stop thinking too much about the camera angles on stream and start, taking the time to promote yourself. But that is something that is very... It feels very unnatural to me, I still need to find a certain way to do this. Because, at one point, yeah, exposure helps. But at the same time, it's so difficult to put in words in English sometimes. But it's always so important to attract the right people, right? Because in our stream, we, so far, I feel like in the beginning we grew quite fast, but at a certain time, or at a certain point, at least growth-wise, we kind of stagnated, right? And I feel like that was not only, but like part of it was also because at a certain point where I had the exposure, right? I don't know who was there when that happened, but I still remember we had this one week where for 5 days I was on the front page, featured on the front page of Twitch in the main slot, right? So not like, oh, we had 500 viewers all of a sudden. Like there was like over 1,000 people sometimes before I was even live, just with the starting screen. That was crazy numbers. I think overall, like on the best stream during that time, there was like almost 250,000 different accounts logging into the stream at least once. That's 250,000 people at least watching for like a few seconds, minutes, whatever on the front page, right? Continuously. And that was the point where I guess if I would have done a few things differently, we could have used that momentum. But the problem is, still to date, and something that also kept me from doing it back then is that I felt like if I start like, promoting myself in a certain way now, and I just play the game, then I don't know, it also attracts a certain kind of crowd, right? I mean, yes, we are only like sometimes 20, 30, 40, 50 people in here at the moment, I think, depending on the day and the stream, etc. and the time. But I feel like those people, even though we have lurkers, those are people who come back, right? I mean, look at you, Reaper, for example, is a good example lately. Like Dwindot hasn't been here for a while, still comes in, goes like, hey, it's so nice to have you. It's nice to be here. It still sticks around for like a while. I feel like if we tend to a different kind of viewer just to have more numbers, to get the numbers up, it won't do anything, right? Especially financially. Same as with for example, Instagram is a very good example for that. Instagram has like, I once, for the first album that we published, I did a little bit of promotion and put a little bit of money in it and promoted that post for like a week or so on Instagram. And it was already like centered around like people who are interested in music, interested in piano, right? You can basically tell Instagram who you want to promote to. And that post has like a few hundred likes. and it had those few hundred likes in a few days, and maybe 3 new followers. Oops, 3 new followers, right? Or 5, I don't know anymore. The latest release, the Instagram post so far, in about the same time, has like 20-30 likes, but more comments. 2 people actually bought the album already on BANDCAMP, which I really appreciate, folks. Thank you so much. It has the most listens in total in a week of all of my releases so far, which also thank you guys. I haven't really put out a post on Discord about this, but we have like around 400 listens on this first album now. I think 370 or something. And it only has 4 tracks. That's way more than the other albums, you know? Even though the Instagram post suggests it's less interesting than the other because it has like 600 likes, you know? Even though right now there's less people at average on stream than there was when I released the second and third album. Especially the second one. So, you know, it's really difficult to sort through the numbers. As Badehouse says, front page numbers are misleading as well. Yes, because everyone who's just coming onto the front page and just lurks there, you know, because they are undecided what to watch yet. If I'm running, that's still, you know, 1 viewer. Basically everyone who's coming onto the front page. I guess that's what you're hinting at, Badehouse. Welcome in Turka, by the way. So yeah, numbers are always misleading, and I feel like a lot of people are just playing the numbers game, and sometimes it works because some other people's are blended by the same numbers. You know, you have a person who goes like, oh, I have 10,000 likes on Instagram, automatically more people will think they're important and will rather, you know, be interested in their stuff. So at a certain point, the numbers game kind of works out maybe, but up until then, I just don't see the benefit in it. And I feel like it's also very problematic systematically as well, that we put so much emphasis on how much reach we have, how much people watched our stuff. We still don't know how many people liked it and what they thought about it, you know? So yeah, I guess if you want growth and if you want a lot of people, etc., you have to more like watch the numbers and see how you can push the right numbers. But if you really want to build on something lasting, I feel like the way is a different one. But yeah, we'll see. It's an ongoing process, folks, right? And all of your support and all of your feedback as well, by the way, helps a lot. So yeah. Dwindle says, agreed, but to be fair, I was one of the ones who came in during the pandemic peak and just so happened to really like your content, so I keep coming back. But that's exactly what I mean, Dwindle, right? I'm not saying we need to attract, like, generally more people, but people like you know? People who might come in because of something, you know, not because they saw my ad on Instagram, because actually, Dwindle, are you the kind of person, anyone in chat right now, like Yanni, Reaper, Debatte Sasla, Dwindle, Badehouse, let's be honest, how many of you have found a person, a streamer, an artist they actually support financially, maybe, or with their time or whatever, by clicking on an ad on Instagram, on Facebook, on I don't know where, right? Not really. I feel like the people we attract and the people who are here are more like-minded people, right? And I wouldn't do that either. Like, if I see an ad, it's the opposite, by the way. Like, if I see someone like a musician, even though if they are a cool person, a great musician, maybe I don't know them. It's a random musician from somewhere in the world, and I get like ads on my Instagram stories. And it's like a video of them being like, oh, hi, my new album is out and this and that. Like, sometimes I even get annoyed by that because there's ads everywhere. And even though they really mean well, and maybe they're a cool independent artist and they really struggle and I would really maybe like their music, just seeing them have that kind of, how do you say, have that kind of advertisement and play that kind of game makes me like, nope, you know, next. So yeah, maybe it takes a bit more time for people to discover the stream. But like, if they end up here, I'd rather have a stream that keeps the right people, right? Because in the end, we got Dwindot during the pandemic, basically, right? We got you, and not like a 12-year-old who's only interested in fast-paced content and clicks on every ad they see on Instagram. Oh god. You wouldn't have to do that, Reaper. Thank you so much. I just saw you left something in the tip jar there. I'm recently not logged into... Oh, wait. With Twitch, maybe? Nope. Was it with Google? Yeah, probably. There we go. But I just saw your support coming in through Ko-fi. Toss a coin to your Witcher. I love it. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. So, let me see. Just need a foot in the right door. Yeah, I mean, as you say, Yanni, she got a point, like my girlfriend got a point when saying that. But I'd rather go the way we go right now instead of the other turnaround. Twitch goes down in view time and viewers. Oh yeah, Badahouse and me and other streamers have also realized that lately. And really, like, compared to that, I have to admit we are very lucky, right? Sometimes it's easy to feel a bit down when I see the numbers at the moment, and there are sometimes streams where we have like 35 people at average, and I still remember the time where I was actually thinking about, oh, we are slowly closing in on 70, 75 people. Maybe we get partnered at some point, like 3 years ago, right? And sometimes it feels like that's a step back, but you know, the stream is not something that continually evolves. It is not something that always needs to be growing. Or I hope it shouldn't. It shouldn't, because you know, sometimes people leave, sometimes people come back, sometimes there's always going to be like a thing. And the stream 2 years ago was the stream 2 years ago, and the stream now is the stream now. But yeah, still sometimes it's easy to feel a bit down. But then you know, as harsh as it sounds, there's a lot of other streamers who had great numbers as well, and who are like basically gone by now, or who are crashing even harder, right? So I think, yeah, I guess what I want to go at is, even though sometimes the numbers make you a bit disappointed, I'm totally not disappointed by the stream itself and by the people who are here and by the times we share, right? That's like two separate things, ironically. Well, here's me blathering on again. When we wanted to raid out already. Reaper again, thank you so much for the 10. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it a lot. Who do we rate? Should we rate Stony? What is he playing? PUBG? Not really a music stream. All right, what do we do, folks? Let's. Oh, the ad break. All right, we'll be back. We'll wait until we come back from the ad break. But basically, my question would be, what do you think, guys? Should we rate a music streamer, or should we rate a friend of mine who's also streaming but not like music? Just make some noise over there. We can do both. I'm cool with both. So how's chat feeling? And I'll ask the question again once the ad break is done. Oh, Eric is live? Okay, Eric might be the better choice here. Oh yeah, he is. Oh, definitely. We definitely... Oh, he's on a break right now. Oh, God damn it. On Be Right Back. You even said that. Sometimes I should read what people write before I talk. But yeah, let's head over there nonetheless. We can wait a little bit until he's back, if he's back in a bit. If it takes longer than like, let's play one song, and if it takes longer than a song, we'll try to make a new decision. Thank you, Silver. Thank you for being here, for listening. Ad break should be over though. I don't know why the ad break thing here. Oh, now it's gone. All right, there we go. Welcome back, everyone who was on the ad break. Let's play one more song. See if Eric comes back. Music streamer we wanted to rate, and if he doesn't come back, we'll rate over to Stony. Just freak him out a bit. Alrighty. What's our last song together, folks? I kind of want to go with... Oh, he's back. Perfect. We'll do another one from Steven Universe. Shall we do the outro song because it's an outro song? Let's do two. I want to do both. I kind of want to do this one because we didn't do it yet. And then we use the outro song to actually rate out. Wonderful. All right. I always say I already will say thank you so much for today's stream. Thanks for, you know, accepting me streaming the way I did today as well. Had a lovely time. I hope you had too. You know, don't beat yourself down over the bad weather outside. And hope you have a lovely weekend. We'll be back Monday the latest. Tomorrow I'll be in Mannheim, actually, meeting another streamer that I'm very excited to meet in person for the first time. You can surely... or you surely will see us on Insta and Discord probably. Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. So then Sunday I can prepare, and then Monday we'll do the next stream, and then we see how we proceed, right? All right, you all take care, and see you soon. If you're evil and you're on the rise, you can count on the four of us taking you down. 'Cause we good and evil never beats us. We'll win the fight and then go out for pizzas. We are the crystal gems. We'll always save the day. And if you think we can, we'll always find a way. That's why the people of this world believe in garnet, amethyst, and pearl, and Steven. Alright, copy the right call in case you want to make some noise over there. Huge thank you to everyone who's also subscribed today or the support on Ko-fi. I appreciate it a lot. If I could begin to be half of what you think of me, I would do about anything. I would even learn how to love. When I see the way you act, wondering when I'm coming back, I could do about anything. I could even learn how to love like you. I always thought I might be bad. Now I'm sure that it's true. 'Cause I think you're so good, and I'm nothing like you. Look at you go. I just adore you. I wish that I knew what makes you think I'm so special. If I could begin to do something that does right by you, I would do about anything. I would even learn how to love. When I see the way you look, shaken by how long it took, I could do about anything. I would even learn